Here with Northwestern State head coach Blaine McCorkle, the Demons getting ready to re-engage longtime rival Stephen F. Austin on Saturday. But, Coach, let's go back a week and look at, well, not a week, but a couple of days from now. Game at then number 13, Southeast Missouri State, and defense put on maybe its most complete game of the season. So a lot of steps forward that were taken, lessons learned as you wrapped up non-conference play.
Yeah, defense did play really, really hard, really, really well through that game, as you mentioned, against a really potent offense. You know, they scored one offensive touchdown, which is too many because we didn't score any. We've got to help ourselves out better there, and that one came on the first drive of the game when we, kind of gave them really good field position after a poor punt coverage. So that's where we got to compliment each other a little bit better, like we've been talking about for a bit. But after that first drive, defense really stood firm and held them to nothing but field goals and punts the rest of the game. So really happy about the progress they're making. But it is a full team game, and we've got to do better on the offensive side of the ball. We've got to do some things better in the kick game to help those guys out and balance this thing out and put some points on the board. So plenty of work to do. No moral victories. Yeah, we played well in spurts, played well on defense, and but we're not going to rest on that. We've got to keep getting better and find a W because that's what we're here to do.
You talk about constant, continual improvement, and sometimes that can be in small spurts. Sometimes it can be in big ones. I think we saw a couple of defensive backs, namely Antonio Hall, Isaiah Robinson, maybe take not just baby steps forward, but a lot larger, normal human-sized steps.
Yeah, those guys are really improving, and you're right. There's success is defined as improvement. It doesn't say how much, but improvement is success, and there are some guys definitely improving and finding some moments of success out there. And really excited about some guys kind of growing into their role. Antonio Hall is one you mentioned, who's doing a good job and getting better. And, Isaiah Robinson back there is really growing. And a lot of guys are in a lot of positions. They just really stood out because of the nature of that game, the way they threw the ball around and did some things like that. So really excited about where those guys are at.
We've talked about many times how young this team is, and at some point even young teams have to have veteran guys, and there will be veteran guys on those teams. Twan Hines on the offensive side of the ball, that is about as interesting a young man as I think you're going to find. How have you found him to be in terms of a leader, in terms of a voice on the offensive side?
Well, leadership is something that we've talked about a lot here the last couple of weeks. It's something that we're really searching to find. I can't say that we have really great overall leadership on our team right now. That's something that we're lacking and something that we're trying to grow, something we're trying to teach. But Twan is one of those rare individuals who has a knack for great leadership. He's not scared to stand up and speak his mind. He doesn't really care what people think about him, and that's what a great leader has to do. So, and he's a really good football player, and he works as hard as anybody out there, so he can back that up. So, really excited about what he's given us there, and hopefully more guys will follow his example in leadership and step up and grow that, because that is an area we are desperately lacking right now that we've got to grow in and mature in. And I think that's just part of the process of a brand new program getting started, is people being kind of man enough, brave enough to speak up and do that.
And I know as you as a coach, you want it to be player-led as much as you can.
That's right. The best teams I've ever been around, the coaches didn't do a lot of yelling and hollering and coaching because the players kind of took it and ran, and ownership's real. All we can really do is show them the way, but it's got to be their team, and they've got to decide to do it. And we talk a lot, there's a lot of ways to lose. There's a million ways to lose, but the path to winning is very narrow, so we try to show them that path, but at the end of the day, they've got to decide to go down that path. And I think for the most part, our guys have bought in. They're trying to get there. But that doesn't mean it's easy by any means. Winning is really hard. And our guys are kind of going through some of those growing pains right now to figure out just how narrow and how tight that path is. But we are getting there and taking steps every day to get there.
You'll travel a well-worn path this weekend right across the Texas line to Nacogdoches to face Stephen F. Austin as the Southland Conference portion of the rivalry reignites. Did play them last season non-conference, but now they're back in the league. And we talked about this earlier today. You faced a high-powered running game 2 weeks ago in Weber. You faced a very high-powered passing game last week in SEMO. You're going to get a blend of the two Saturday night in Nacogdoches. So a little bit more of a balanced offense than you've seen the last couple of weeks.
They are. They've got a quarterback that I think he's on his fourth school and throws the ball around pretty good. They've got a great big 230-pound back who can go straight ahead. They've got some good receivers out on the edge. So they do give you a good mix. They play a balanced style of football. I enjoy watching them play. That's something we're trying to grow to ourselves. So we definitely have our hands full on the defensive side of the ball to make sure that we know where we're at, we're aligned right, we're assigned right, and we're playing with that same effort that we've been playing with to make sure we have another good showing on that side of the ball to give ourselves a chance to win. But yeah, we're excited. Rivalry games are fun, and it'll be fun to go across the state line and play that other school that wears purple and see what happens. And when you get to rivalry games, records are out the window, and There's a lot of history and a lot of tradition with this one, and a lot of people will be watching and paying attention. And this game means a lot to a lot of people, and our team needs to recognize that and understand the responsibility that comes with this game.
Well, there'll be something new that will be taken away from this game from the winner. Hopefully it's coming back to Natchitoches, but a new trophy that will be a very large one, just as the old one was. But you've played in a lot of rivalry games. You've coached in a lot of rivalry games. Ever had one where you've been the first with a chance to take something home, a first-time victor in this sense?
Yeah, I have actually. I think about it. Yeah, well, I think when I was playing at LSU, we played in the first boot game with Arkansas. I think that in '96, I think was the first one of those, and that was the first time that one came up. I had to think about that when you threw me a good question there. But yeah, that's pretty exciting, and obviously this rivalry's been around for a long time, and it's had a traveling trophy for a long time, but it'll definitely have a new look. There's a lot of people with mixed feelings about that, and understandably so. But we are still playing, and we are still playing for something significant, and so the rivalry is alive and well, and not going anywhere. So that's something we can all be excited about.
Still need to go send the big uglies to go get the trophy after the game. It's still
it's going to be big. Yeah, it's going to be big, and I have to put on a weight belt or two to get that thing out of there. But it's going to be big and exciting and new, and we're excited about it.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.